what could be missing most often from executives' approaches to building their presence online and building that authority and just getting out there?
Mm-hmm. Um, I don't think it's about something that's missing. It's more about that they don't have the tools and knowledge of what they need to do. Like,
Got it.
where do they even start?
Sure.
Because the information and their skills knowledge is there. But now, how do you talk about that to somebody else, who's going to be watching you or hearing from you or reading your posts? That's where I think is the lack of knowledge, right? And imagine those who are not extroverts, who are not, type A's, who like being behind the closed doors, just working their paperwork in front of the computer. And now they're asked to go forefront and start doing and talking about something, right? So they just don't have the tools. They don't have the knowledge how to get comfortable with themselves, what
Sure.
to talk about. They don't have the concept of, I have to have a content calendar. What does that even mean? What is content?
Yes.
Do I have to write a book? Do I have to write, blogs and articles that are 1,500 word long? Or do I have to write a paragraph? So that's, I think, the biggest roadblock that prevents them to go forward. But once you explain, once you educate, once you give examples and open up that mind a little bit, it becomes more comfortable. And then you give them just the path, the framework, right? Okay, well, why don't you just do one post per week? Well,
Sure.
pick a topic, maybe something, that you're dealing with, or have a common question from the customer that you can give an answer to, in a post format. Just pick something where you feel comfortable just to start testing and seeing the feedback. And earlier I said, what's the goal, right? If the goal is to just build your authority and visibility so that you are there when people seek information about you, that's all there is. That's all. It's all enough. And then the best featured post or whichever you're happiest with, you can just feature on LinkedIn on your profile. There's a section, featured posts. Nobody's going to go and scroll and dig, in a year old worth of posts, So you have to then present that information, what you want them to see, easily available. And that's, I think, the biggest thing. But once they learn, once they see the impact, once they feel that feedback, it builds, confidence. It builds that more, believe in themselves, that they can do it, they can manage it. And then it becomes fun. Then it becomes fun. Then they want to do it.